How's it going, YouTube? It's FuzzyXYZ here. Now today I'm going to bring you a week 2 of my tournament diaries. I said I'd be going to do these on every Sunday. I'll be probably bringing you on Mondays now due to the fact that I go to Vanguard Hobby League on a Sunday, so I don't particularly have enough time to do that as well. But on a Monday I will be bringing you both Card of the Week and the Tournament Diary of the weekend that's just gone. So this is week 2 and I ran my newly built Prophecy. This deck profile is up on my channel. It's mostly the exact same build. It's just that I didn't run it last week, not last week, the week before, because I was kind of having a week off from it. But this is like more or less the exact same deck list, but I have the cards that I was taking in the last deck profile. Also I have my complete side deck as well now. So I have triple High Priestess, very standard, triple Spell Magician, standard, the 1 Temperance and 2 Justice. This has been working out really well. Justice is an absolutely amazing card, especially being that I run Tragodias. It means that you still have the 6 card hand advantage. And the final Prophecy monster is Stoic. I'm thinking about taking Stoic out. I'm not particularly sure yet how I'm feeling about it. It has been working really well when you set it and you get to search for the Justice, etc. It's also very nice when you sync it with Veiler into Formula Synchron. You get the draw formula and you get the +1 search. So it is really good. I don't know if I'm going to take it out for a copycat though. It's basically in here for the Tower special summon. Then you have the 2 Breaker. Like I said in the previous deck list, I cut this down to 2 because I thought 3 was a little bit cloggy. 2 has been working out really well. It appears when it needs to. You can pitch it for Trag to take the level 4s and then exceed. But overall, Breaker is a really good card. Breaker is a problematic card for your opponent. If you have like 3 spellbooks and High Priestess in hand, or you want to do a special summon or something like that, and your opponent has back row, then you can basically bait out their back row with Breaker. They normal summon Breaker, they Trenchal, Bottomless, etc. You chain Wisdom, that's got rid of one on the back row, and then Breaker obviously pops another one, so it is a +1 with Breaker. It baits out a lot of cards. Then onto hand traps, like I said, you have 2 Tragodia, you have 2 Maxi, and 2 Veiler. The hand traps have been working really well recently. A lot of decks like Gear Gaias, Rabbit, and wind-ups have been popping up at my locals recently, so the hand traps are really important. If they don't work, then you can easily side them out. It is more or less like it's just to more or less win your game 1 with the hand traps, or to help you game 1, and then if depending on the matchup and you don't particularly need them, then you can just side out all 4, and then that actually gives you something to side in and out, for example. Because siding in and out in this deck is really hard. It makes tough decisions, but if you have a guaranteed 4 that you're probably going to side out, then it makes it a whole lot easier. Now onto the spells. 1 Tower. I do need another Tower. The other proxy is here, but I only ran 1 at the weekend to make it a 40 card deck. With 2 it'd been making it 41. So hopefully I can get the second one for London Regionals, but I'll get onto that in another video. Then you have 3 Spellbook Secrets, an absolutely amazing card. Possibly one of my new favourite cards in this entire deck is Spellbook of Fate. This, it puts in a lot of work, especially if you're going for game and you feel Gauze or Trag or anything. You can just attack and they drop Gauze, and then you can just quick play this from hand and banish 3 and then banish it and then just carry on attacking for game, so it's really good. Also, if you special summon High Priestess and they Book of Moon it, then you don't really want to waste a Wisdom on the Book of Moon to call spells, because that means you fear their back row. So you just let the Book of Moon go through and then add this to hand and banish 2 and then flip your High Priestess back over. They try to Bottomless Wisdom. So it is a really good card. You can use it with Spellbook Magician as well. Then you have 2 Life, been working really well. Triple Wisdom, absolutely amazing. I love that card. 1 Eternity, thinking about putting up to 2, to be honest. There's been times where I have wanted another one in deck, that I have had to kind of banish it for game, during the game, and that's just in case I didn't have Tower and you needed it. You needed that extra banish with like the Fate or the High Priestess, something to try and go for game. And if it doesn't pull off, then I have needed that second one. So I might try and find room for it. Maybe cut a Wisdom to 2. Maybe put the Wisdom into the side deck and run the second Eternity. But more testing will help me improve on that decision. And then the final spellbook cards are 2 power, which is an absolutely amazing card. Then you have the whole trinity of Storm Reborn. People in my last previous video told me to take out Storm. The thing is that even though you don't get the +1 off Tower, you only run Trap, so their MST targets is going to be a Tower anyway, so they'll probably MST your Tower during your standby phase, so you can actually still use the Storm. Book of Moon I don't really want to put in this deck. I kind of have Fate for that, to be honest, which is actually searchable and recyclable. So Fate is kind of the Book of Moon in this deck, but Storm, I believe, in this back row heavy format, then you still need it in. And it actually won me a heck of a lot of games. Even if you just Wisdom your High Priestess, call traps on the summon, and then if they and then you like pop away one of their back row, and even if they have 1 or 2 left, then you can just Storm without the fear of having like a Solemn or a Starlight Road. So I do believe Storm is still needed in this deck. My new favourite card in this deck as well, Creature Swap. This has been working out really well. It's good for games 1. If you find it a bit dead, you can easily side it out games 2. I might take it out, but I really love this card, especially the +1 off Stoic. If you have normal summon Breaker and got the pop off and they still have a big monster, then you can give them the Breaker that's more or less useless to you now. You can give a Spellbook Magician after the search, etc. If you have a dead Veiler or a dead Maxi in hand, then you can just Creature Swap it away. So Creature Swap is a really good card. And then 2 Wonder Ones, yes, finally picked up my Wonder Ones, went to my teammate Joel. Wonder One is absolutely amazing in this deck. You can either get the +1 search, the +1 draw, sorry, or you can just basically increase your monster's attack and attack over their big monsters. And then for consistency, 2 Duality. I sometimes side these out in games, depending on the matchup I'm against, if I want to kind of make it a lot faster. Duality will be coming out when the next set is released for Spellbook of the Master, because it's just basically an easier +1. And the final card is Treacherous Chapel. Nobody expects this, to be honest. You think that being it's a spell based deck, that you don't actually run back rows, so as soon as you set a card, they think that the only cards it can be is either Fate or Wisdom. So if they MST it, they expect you to chain. Well, but they MST this, and you just like chain and destroy their whole field, which is absolutely amazing. This card works really well. And if you want to side in traps, then you just this is like another target to take out, and then just side in the traps that you need to, depending on the matchup. And then onto the extra deck. I think I only made 1 change in this, to be honest. Made Big Eye, Maestroke, Zemains, Tempo, Getchi, Shining Elf, Formula, Catasta, Librarian, Tempest, Gaia, Black Rose, Arcanite, Stardust, and Scrapdragon. Now I kind of want to find room for Army Arm. I'm not too sure on what to take out. I might take out Shining Elf, being that I don't really go into a Daigusto Phoenix with two Spellbook Magicians. I'd rather go into a Gachi for extra defense, to be honest. You have so much attack that you don't really need a Daigusto Phoenix in this, and you hardly exceed into rank 2s anyway. Because you could rather exceed into a lot more if you have Traggers, etc. So I might take out the Shining Elf for an Army Arm, but I'm going to have to kind of decide that within this next week. The reason I want Army Arm in is if you have like a Dead Temperance or a Justice or something like that, then you can easily sync it with a Veiler and put this behind a High Priestess, power up High Priestess, put a Wonder One in it, and then you have a 5k High Priestess. Nothing better than that. Now onto the side deck. This is a side deck that I have more or less complete now. I don't think there's anything that I want to change out of this, depending on what I feel on the day. But the side deck that I actually do is 2 Cyber Dragons, 2 Fossil Diner, 2 Soul Taker, 2 Leech in the Light, 2 D Fisher, 2 Rivalry, 2 Decree, and for the 15th card I put in Chimera Tech, took it out of the extra deck and put it into the side deck as the 14th card. Didn't know what else to put in, to be honest. But if you guys have any ideas about what to include into the side deck of Prophecy, then I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions on that. If there's anything that I have missed out, etc., then definitely tell me about that. So the matchups at the weekend, I went 3-2 again. I seem to be doing that pretty often recently. Just a quick run through. Game 1, I went against Mermails. I 2-1 that. Game 1, I basically beat him down with High Priestess. Game 2, he OTK'd me, and Game 3, I fully absolutely smashed him with 3 High Priestess on the field. 3 High Priestess, a D-Fisher and a Breaker, so that was more or less game. And then round 2, I went against Samurai. I lost 2-1 to that. They had Beast out, couldn't really do much. Game 3, I went against Heroes, it was. Very, very close match. I got him down to 300. If I had have had a Breaker or something on that had 1-5 or higher attack rather than a Fossil Dino in hand, then I'd have actually won the game. Or if I'd have had a Spellbook Magician to search out power, I just needed that one more Spellbook in hand so I could use Life or use Temperance as effect, being that I had a Life in hand. So it was particularly annoying, particularly frustrating, but that's how the game goes. Round 4, I went against Scraps, 2-0'd that. So that put me on 2-2, and for the final game of the day, I went against Heroes, which was my teammate Heppel. He was borrowing Booth's deck. That I think it was either 2-0 or 2-1. I'm not quite sure, but I did win that one. It was a really, really fun game because it was against a teammate. But yeah, I went 3-2. Unfortunately, didn't make top 8. Again, but 3-2 is really good through this deck. It means that you're actually going positive, so the deck is working. It's just due to unlock in a match in which this deck loses, either a bad hand, or you're not drawing the right card that you want to, or your opponent just has too much of a field that you cannot get over. It's nothing to do with the deck. The deck works perfectly at the minute. Remember, I still need to get a second tower, but Jamie the Kid is actually lending me a tower when I go to the London Regionals, which is this weekend. So shout out to you, Jamie. Thank you for lending me that card. So that's it for the deck profile. Please let me know what you think of this deck profile. I don't think I'm going to change it for the London Regionals, which is this Saturday, which is the 29th, I believe. So yeah, I'm taking it to the London Regionals with my teammates. I'll be seeing Jamie the Kid 00 there. We have a scheduled match against each other, so hopefully we can do pretty alright there. I'll be bringing you a vlog of the day like I will be doing with every regionals. I'll try and get the regionals deck profile of the top 8, etc. Hopefully we'll get us invites this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see. So I hope you all have a lovely Christmas. This is obviously filmed on Christmas Eve. I'll be doing the contest video tomorrow, actually on Christmas Day, so if you aren't busy stuffing your faces and opening your presents, then please do look out for that video. It should be a really exciting contest, and I hope you all look forward to it. Like I reiterated a minute ago, hope you have a lovely Christmas, hope you get what you want, etc. Hope you have a good time with all your family and friends and that. This is FuzzyXYZ, and I'm signing out. Thanks for watching.